Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast. This is where we rank all of the albums from whatever artist we're doing this week. And this week we're doing DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So they put out 5 records over their career. So we're gonna rank those from worst to best. But before we do that, we're gonna do our 6 degrees of Tom DeLonge. If you don't know what that is, go look up the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Same idea, but with Tom DeLonge. And go to iTunes, go rate, review, and subscribe to us on there. Follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. And my name is Tyler, way out there, hundreds of miles away. Way out there in the ether is Jeff. So let's just jump right into our 6 degrees of Tom DeLonge. I only have one thing because I wasn't expecting to record today, so it was very last minute. So I only have one. Okay. I don't know how many you have.
I have 2.
Okay.
But I have 2. I could do.
Okay.
I could do one. You could do one. I could do one. Whatever.
Yeah, let's do that. What do you got?
So I was gonna go in the theme, but then my theme is gonna be Bad Boys theme, and I was like, oh, there's 3 of them, and I was gonna do 3 people, but then I couldn't think of who the 3rd star of Bad Boys was until I realized it was fucking Will Smith. And I skipped over that, so that was whatever. But by that time, I was already like, I'm done with this shit. It took me forever to do the second one. But the first one, so with Will Smith was in Bad Boys with Tia Leone. Tia Leone was in The Family Man, the Nicolas Cage movie, with Mackenzie Vega.
Not familiar with them.
Me neither. Mackenzie Vega was in Sin City. She played an earlier version, like a younger version of the Jessica Alba character. She was in Sin City with Devin Aoki. If you can guess who Devin's brother is, one Steve Aoki.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah, Steve to Blink, Blink to Tom, Tom to Steve. It's a circle, triangle, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a connection. Okay, so my one, I tried to come up with as quickly as I could in my head. So we start with the band Wicked Wisdom. If you don't know who this band is, this is Jada Pinkett Smith's band. So Will Smith's wife. It's her band. She's the lead singer of this band. They're a metal band. And fun little fact, I saw this band open up Ozfest in 2005, summer of 2005. They were the first band to open at like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. And Will Smith was on the side of the stage, and he was having a blast watching his wife play. So that was pretty cool. Also, in Wicked Wisdom, Thomas Pridgen played drums for this band, and I actually saw him play that day too. He was the drummer for the band. So Thomas Pridgen, who also played in the Mars Volta with Omar and Cedric. Omar and Cedric were in a band called Anti-Mask. Travis Barker also played in that band and played on one of their records. And so Travis to Tom, and there you go. There's my connection. Wicked Wisdom to Tom DeLonge.
It's getting to the point now where like you're Wikipediaing these people and like building these chains, and then you get to a familiar face. You're like, oh, now I know I can get back to Tom. And so either you try not to go that route, but sometimes like you got it. You got it. He's like, I'm not gonna spend fucking 5 hours doing this thing. You know what I mean?
and yeah, I just didn't have time to go through Wikipedia. So this is like the only thing I could think of off the top of my head was Thomas Pridgen. That was the easiest one.
This one took me a while. This one was probably the hardest one until I realized what this person was in. But Will Smith was in Bad Boys again with Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence was in Death at a Funeral with Zoe Saldana. She plays Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
Zoe was in Lennon or McCartney, which is that kind of documentary, Lennon versus McCartney, who was better, film. And one of the I almost will use this now as like a gateway, because dude, there's so many people that gave their 2 cents on this. But Tim McIlrath from Rise Against, he was McIlrath.
Okay.
He was in this as well. Tim was in a documentary Descendants movie called Filmage with Mark Hoppus. Mark Hoppus contributed some stuff to that. Mark Tom.
There you go. Wow, that's kind of a roundabout way, but it works.
It works, baby.
Look at that. that one sounded like it took some research to get to.
It was
more
just
so than the first one.
It was just the going from Zoe to Tim, like that. I don't know, that Lennon McCartney thing, because it wasn't listed under her. It wasn't listed under her Wikipedia.
Okay, could have gone IMDb, but that's fine too.
Nah, I only use Wikipedia.
You're working with movies.
Wikipedia's gospel.
Of course.
The gospel according to Mark.
You only use Wikipedia and you never use YouTube. So there you go.
Dang, you know what's crazy? The gospel according to Mark, the gospel according to Luke, the gospel according to Leia. Is that the 3 of them? I'm just kidding.
I thought you were being serious for a second. I'm like,
well, the first 2 were serious, but the last
the first
one
2,
serious.
yeah, but Leia is not. Yeah.
Or maybe the last one.
Yeah, honestly, you never know. Let's see here. So yeah, let's just move on to our album ranking. So like I said, they have 5. They put out 5 records, and we'll start with their least best. So number 5, what do you got?
Okay, their least best. None of these are bad. I didn't have any listen where I was like, dude, this is terrible. Everything was at least like, okay, this is fun and I dig it. Mm-hmm. So everything's at least a 2. So number 5 for me, He's a DJ, I'm the Rapper. Their second album, 1988. Dude, this one was long. It was fucking very long. So long. And the problem is there's no complexity to Will Smith's raps. It's fun and entertaining, yeah. Mm-hmm. But like there's really nothing separating this from Rock the House. And it's interesting that Parents Just Don't Understand won like the first ever rap Grammy, 1989, because
so strange.
It beat Salt and Peppa's Push It and JJ Fad's Supersonic. Both songs are fucking better than Parents Just Don't Understand. I just don't understand.
Agreed.
So yeah, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. I have nothing really bad to say about it. It's just Rock the House is better, and everything else is better. But whatever. I like rhythm tracks, house party style. Killer
is that
Beat by
the live one.
Maybe it was live. This is the one where Will Smith acts like a hype man to Jeff, and it's just like really cool to let Jeff breathe and That was a live one then, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that was a live one. It was. It was
cool scratch track.
That was a good. That was
fun.
a good one.
That was good. But yeah, that was my favorite.
Okay, or your least favorite, or no, your favorite song off your least favorite record.
Correct.
There you go. So my least best, much like you, none of them are bad. They're all good. At least a 2 out of 3. And but my number 5 is Home Base, their 4th record, and this is, them kind of going away from the fun hip hop, I guess you could say, even though it's still kind of goofy. But this is more, to me, like when I was listening to it, I was thinking they took a lot of influence from like 80s pop music and really threw that in there. And then you could tell this is like the transition from what they were doing on their first 3 records to Will Smith's solo record. It's very much more conventional pop than anything else. So that's kind of why I just kind of didn't really get, like, I really didn't dig it as much because the 80s pop influence, but it was still pretty good. And the best song on this one was I'm All That. I think that's the opening song. It just has that really cool bass loop, and and just Will Smith's flow on this one is it's faster, it's not as like choppy as the older stuff, but it's really good. It's a really good song. Pretty cool album. So that's my number 5. It's Home Base.
Damn.
So what do you got for number 4?
Number 4.
Yeah, that's the way she goes. This is probably your number 1, huh? Home Base is probably your
number 4.
Fucking idiot.
And in this corner, that's their third album, 1989.
I'm surprised these ones are ranking so low.
Dude, this is not totally dissimilar from the first two records, and I think it's.
Yeah.
I think his wit and his storytelling has improved a lot. He's able to kind of like semi elevate his rhyming to match, and it's not so goofy and so childish, but it's just not. This is the same thing, dude. This is the same thing, and he's a one. Even all 5 albums, Will Smith is a one trick pony here, but it's okay.
Yeah,
there's some funny stuff. So here's probably the worst lyric that Will Smith has ever spit out in these 5 records. So he says, I'm rough like sandpaper, hard like algebra. That's what he fucking says. Like that's a line. That's cool. Dude, that's so stupid. That's so fucking lame.
It's so all ages of him, of a lyric, or of a line.
He does a lot of stupid lyrics, but that was. Did you really just fucking say that? And he has a lot of wank songs where he talks about he's the greatest, and I don't even know if it's like a real thing or if it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. I don't even know, but damn. But my favorite song was the girl he had a mustache. Like, how could you not like that song? A funny tale about him checking out a girl. Jesus, the girl he had a mustache is funny. This is a good song.
It's a great one. No,
it's almost still okay because of how accessible it is, how PC it is, how not confrontational it is.
Yeah. It's a very just silly song. It could be taken like in a bad way, but the way he presents it is. It's more innocent than offensive or anything like that.
Yeah, offensive. There you go. How non-offensive this is. How non-offensive a potentially very offensive situation unfolds, and it carries well. It's I don't know. It's good '90s funny, and it carries well till today. And it's his shock is funny. It's good. It made me giggle. I laughed a lot on this listen through.
It was really. Surprisingly a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be, considering we all know he's a very clean cut, lyricist. So it was good. It was good stuff. So that was your number 4. My number 4 is Code Red, their last record, 5th record. This one took more of like a harder edge. It was more gangster rap, influence, which I thought was kind of funny because dude, this band is just so not that. So kind of hearing them do that was just comical. It was stupid. But there were even moments, or like my favorite song was Boom Shake Room, because it was just a little bit harder. It was a little bit faster, but there were many parts in the song that sounded like Public Enemy, or that he was trying to sound like Chuck D. And I couldn't take it seriously, but it was still a solid song. It was good. And this album was just fun. It was fun because that they were trying so hard, but it just did not work out for them. And it's probably for the best that they didn't make any more records after this. But no, it was cool. Code Red. It was cool. And it was weird too because on the cover, DJ Jazzy Jeff wasn't even on the cover. It was just Will Smith. So I thought that was kind of weird, but I don't know. So that's my number 4. What do you got for number 3?
Number 3, Home Base, their 4th album, 1991. I can't believe you like the same 3 albums as your top 3. It's fucking trilogy of the same shit over and over. That's all right.
But
so
it's
Home
a
Base
good trilogy.
Home Base, 4th album, 1991. Dude, this one kicks off right with the rad bass line. I'm with you. I'm all that. The opener, that's the best fucking song. This is...
Yeah, I agree.
It's so jarring coming off of the last album, and then it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's so different than what they've already been doing because they've done the same thing over and over and over 3 times. When Home Base kicks off with I'm all that, this just comes out of left field, and it sets a good tone. And this is the beginning of the gangster rap phase for them. Up until now, this is the most gangster rap shit that they've done. It's harder, it's deeper, it's heavier, but it's still just Will being Will. And overall, the beats are great. They're layered and they're deeper. I think there's a lot of stuff going on that Jeff does, but
You think so? I don't know.
overall, it's still, this is still a 2.
Yeah, but I feel like the last 2 records it was just a lot less scratchy, and it was more song based rather than storytelling and riffing off of each other, which is fine. But they did it so well on the first 3 records that it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it was good. It's still good. Still good.
Yeah.
So that's your number 3.
Number 3.
So my number 3 is he's the DJ, I'm the rapper. Second record. This is really only number 3 because it is so long, but it was still a really fun listen through. And the best song on it is Brand New Funk. It's his flow. It's not really kind of what I expected from him at this point. It was a little bit more groovier. Just a very simplistic drum machine, which was kind of cool. It was different. Instead of using like a typical like sampled drum beat, he used like a drum machine, which was cool. Some great scratching. Great song, and I think it's a solid record, even though it's a little bit long. And like you said, the live song too. It's cool how he kind of just hypes them up. It's fun. It's just through and through. It's fun.
But like literally, we will be talking about that same exact song on Rock the House.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they just fucking redid this same fucking thing from Rock the House.
Yeah, it's true.
Annoying.
It's not annoying. It's still
It's
good.
annoying. It's annoying.
All right. So what do you got for number 2?
Code Red, their last album, 1993. Dude, this is the best of the other side of these guys. So this group, duo, they only have 2 things. They have the goofy Rock the House sound, from the late 80s that takes nothing seriously. And then they have the goofy early 90s stuff that takes nothing seriously but is trying to pretend like they're hard. That's it. Those are the only 2 sounds they have. And this is the best of the other sound. This is hard, it's heavy, it's fun, and it's sort of endearing. Like these two have come full circle in their music, and they've evolved slowly. It was slow evolve, but they've definitely like evolved. And I completely understand why they stopped after this record. What are you going to do? Will Smith never really improved in his writing style. He did great stuff.
But he didn't need to. That's the thing. Yeah.
He did great stuff, but he's not... 5 albums. I'm fucking surprised he even got 5 albums out of this. Like this is a 3-album group for sure. Like 5 albums. I'm fucking surprised, but this is cool. And I think this is cool because they do a lot of like nursery rhyme stuff, which is one of my favorite songs, Twinkle Twinkle. They do a lot of nursery rhyme stuff, a lot of fallbacks on classic songs like I Dream of Jeannie and the Rock the House stuff that we'll talk about. A lot of songs that like everybody knows and they're undeniably catchy. And so the Twinkle Twinkle song, my favorite song, it's like the way he says the second part of the Twinkle Twinkle chorus. Like everybody knows the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and then he says up above the world, up above the clouds so high. And then he says, no, not me. I'm just a regular guy. Like the way he says it is Will Smith. And Will Smith, even though he's so G-rated, he has a very commanding voice. He can be very commanding. His facial features. I mean, he's not like a great actor, but he's a good enough actor to demand respect when he walks into a room. Not just because he's like higher than fucking everything because of how much he's done, but he just has a very like commanding voice and a very good presence. And he stands up straight and he looks at you in the eye and just. Like, he's seen a lot. And then everything that he's done, like the Fresh Prince and then all the hip hop stuff and the acting and his personal life and like everything about Will Smith is just, he commands respect. And it's almost like a wasted opportunity that this never progressed past Code Red, because Code Red for me is still just a 2. It's a little bit heavier. It's almost like Jeff was trying to get Will to push himself further and further, but Will just, he can't. Mm-hmm. And then listening to Will's solo stuff, like clearly he doesn't go any further than lyrically. He doesn't go any further than this. And which is it's
Yeah.
fine. You don't need to. Whatever. This is not. He wanted to be a rapper for a little bit, but his ultimate goal was to be a movie star. So I get
And a pop star, really.
I get why he didn't push us any further. But it's just he's a one-trick pony, man. He's a one-trick pony, and this band was doomed. I guess if you want to even say doomed, but this band was a three record band that I'm like again I am fucking surprised that
I would
they
have thought they
squeezed
would have
5.
done 2 records at most.
So surprised they got
I know.
5.
I was surprised that they had 5. I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that.
Code Red.
So what was your favorite? Oh yeah, it was Wish Upon a Star, or whatever.
Yeah,
that was your favorite one. So my number 2 is And in This Corner, third record. This one, I mean, the first 3 records, they're a lot alike. They're a lot of the same stuff, and the only reason this one is higher than He's the DJ is because it's shorter. It's a more easily digestible album than He's the DJ, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise the music's pretty much the same. And but my favorite song is Jazzy's Groove. It's a really fun, upbeat song. Kind of strays away from his normal flow, which is kind of cool, but it's still really fluid, and it's just a great fucking song. It's groovy to an extent. So yeah, there you go. That's my number 2 is And in This Corner. So I don't want to talk too much about this era until we get into the main album of the week, because we'll have some stuff to talk about. So that leads us into, their best record, and that's Rock the House. So go listen to the main episode because you want to, because we're the best ever. So yeah, that's it. That's all.
We're the goat.